Roman Republic found itself at a crucial crossroads in the First Punic War. After years of conflict, Rome had established itself as a formidable land power, yet its naval capabilities remained untested. The Battle of Mylae would change that, marking a turning point in the war and demonstrating that Rome could challenge Carthage on the seas. This chapter delves into the lead-up to the battle, the strategic decisions made by both sides, the intense confrontation, and the broader implications of Rome's first significant naval victory. As the First Punic War dragged on, Rome's strategic imperative became clear. Control of the seas was essential to sustain its operations in Sicily and to challenge Carthage's dominance in the western Mediterranean. The construction of a Roman fleet, as detailed in the previous chapter, was a bold and unprecedented move that set the stage for a series of naval engagements. Among these, the Battle of Mylae stands out as Rome's first major test of its naval strength. The Roman Senate had invested heavily in building a fleet capable of standing toe-to-toe with the Carthaginians. The newly constructed quinqueremes, modeled after a captured Carthaginian ship, were manned by hastily trained crews who practiced rowing on land and learned the basics of naval combat. These ships, equipped with the innovative corvus, a boarding device designed to transform naval battles into infantry engagements, were Rome's answer to Carthage's superior seamanship. Meanwhile, the Carthaginian navy, long accustomed to dominating the Mediterranean, was confident in its ability to crush the inexperienced Roman fleet. The Carthaginians relied on their well-honed tactics of ramming and outmaneuvering their opponents, a strategy that had served them well for centuries. However, they were unaware of the Roman corvus and the impact it would have on naval warfare. Mylae was a strategically significant location on the northern coast of Sicily, near the narrow Strait of Messina. Controlling Mylae meant controlling the sea lanes between Sicily and mainland Italy, making it a critical objective for both Rome and Carthage. The Romans, under the command of the consul Gaius Duilius, were determined to challenge Carthage's naval supremacy and secure a foothold on Sicily's northern coast. For Carthage, maintaining control of Mylae was essential to safeguard its supply lines and to prevent Roman forces from gaining a strategic advantage in the region. The Carthaginian fleet, under the command of Hannibal Gisco, was dispatched to confront the Roman threat and ensure that Carthage's naval dominance remained unchallenged. As the two fleets prepared for battle, the stakes could not have been higher. A Roman victory at Mylae would not only boost the morale of the fledgling Roman navy, but also disrupt Carthage's control over the western Mediterranean. Conversely, a Carthaginian victory would reaffirm Carthage's naval superiority and possibly deter further Roman naval ventures. The Battle of Mylae unfolded on a clear summer day in 260 BCE. Hannibal Gisco, confident in his fleet's superiority, led his 130 warships into battle, anticipating an easy victory against the inexperienced Romans. Gaius Duilius, on the other hand, commanded a fleet of approximately 145 ships, slightly outnumbering the Carthaginians but lacking the seasoned crews that characterized the Carthaginian navy. As the two fleets approached each other, Hannibal Gisco arranged his ships in a traditional line of battle, intending to use the tried-and-true tactics of ramming and outmaneuvering to decimate the Roman fleet. The Carthaginian strategy was straightforward: strike the Roman ships with powerful rams, punch holes in their hulls, and sink them before they could respond. Duilius, however, had a different plan. Understanding that his crews were inexperienced in naval maneuvers, he placed his faith in the corvus. The Roman fleet advanced slowly and steadily, with the corvi raised and ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. As the Carthaginian ships closed in, the Romans prepared for their counterstrike. The first clash came quickly. Carthaginian ships, propelled by experienced rowers, surged forward to ram the Roman vessels. But as they neared, the Romans unleashed their secret weapon. The corvi were lowered onto the decks of the Carthaginian ships, the heavy iron spikes digging deep into the wooden planks. The Roman marines, heavily armed and well-trained in hand-to-hand combat, stormed across the boarding bridges and onto the Carthaginian ships. This basically turned a sea battle into a land battle, where Roman army was second to none. The sudden and brutal shift from naval maneuvering to close-quarters combat took the Carthaginians by surprise. Accustomed to fighting with their ships rather than on them, the Carthaginian crews were ill-prepared for the ferocity of the Roman marines. The Carthaginian ships, locked in place by the corvi, were unable to retreat or maneuver, leaving their crews at the mercy of the Romans. One by one, Carthaginian ships were boarded and captured. Hannibal Gisco, seeing the tide turning against him, attempted to rally his forces, but the confusion and chaos on the water were too great. The Carthaginian line began to break as more ships fell to the Romans. In the end, 50 Carthaginian ships were captured or sunk, a staggering loss for a fleet that had entered the battle with such confidence. Hannibal Gisco himself narrowly escaped capture, fleeing the battlefield as his flagship was overrun by Roman marines. The remnants of the Carthaginian fleet retreated, leaving the Romans in control of the waters off Mylae. The victory at Mylae was a watershed moment in the First Punic War. For the first time, Rome had demonstrated that it could challenge Carthage at sea and emerge victorious. The battle shattered the myth of Carthaginian naval invincibility and marked the beginning of a new phase in the war, one in which Rome would increasingly assert its dominance on the seas. The impact of the victory was felt far beyond the waters of Mylae. In Rome, the triumph of Gaius Duilius was celebrated with great fervor. Duilius was awarded the honor of a triumph, a rare distinction for a naval commander, and a commemorative column, the Columna Rostrata, was erected in Rome to celebrate the victory. The column, adorned with the bronze rams taken from the captured Carthaginian ships, served as a potent symbol of Rome's newfound naval power. The psychological effect of the victory was equally significant. Rome's success at Mylae boosted the morale of the Roman people and the confidence of the Senate, which now saw the possibility of defeating Carthage not just on land, but also at sea. The battle also encouraged further investment in the Roman navy, with the Senate ordering the construction of additional ships and the training of more crews. For Carthage, the defeat at Mylae was a sobering reminder that Rome was a formidable and adaptable opponent. The loss of 50 ships was a severe blow to Carthage's naval capabilities, and the psychological impact of the defeat reverberated throughout the Carthaginian leadership. However, Carthage was far from defeated. The war was far from over, and Carthage would soon regroup and launch new naval and land campaigns to reclaim its dominance. The Battle of Mylae was more than just a tactical victory. It was a turning point in the First Punic War that set the stage for Rome's eventual dominance in the Mediterranean. The battle demonstrated Rome's ability to innovate and adapt in the face of new challenges, qualities that would serve the Republic well in the years to come. The Corvus, while not without its drawbacks, had proven to be a decisive factor in the battle, allowing Rome to negate Carthage's naval experience and transform naval engagements into infantry battles. The success of the Corvus at Mylae reinforced the Roman belief in the superiority of their infantry and their ability to overcome even the most daunting of challenges. The victory at Mylae also had a lasting impact on the strategic dynamics of the First Punic War. With control of the sea lanes around Sicily, Rome was able to sustain its operations on the island and continue its campaign against Carthage's strongholds. The battle also marked the beginning of Rome's rise as a naval power, a development that would have far-reaching consequences for the Mediterranean world. In the broader context of Roman history, Mylae was the first step on the path to Rome's eventual domination of the Mediterranean. The lessons learned and the confidence gained from this victory would shape Rome's naval strategy for centuries to come. The battle also highlighted the importance of innovation and adaptability in warfare, themes that would resonate throughout Rome's military history. The Battle of Mylae was a defining moment in the First Punic War, one that marked the beginning of Rome's transformation into a naval power. The victory demonstrated Rome's ability to innovate and adapt, qualities that would prove essential in the long and arduous struggle against Carthage. As the war continued, both Rome and Carthage would learn from their successes and failures, refining their strategies and tactics in pursuit of victory. The battle set the stage for future naval engagements, as Rome sought to capitalize on its newfound momentum, and Carthage endeavored to reclaim its dominance. The next chapter of this series will explore the escalating conflict in the Mediterranean, as Rome and Carthage continue their struggle for control of Sicily and the surrounding waters. The war is far from over, and the lessons learned at Mylae will play a crucial role in shaping the battles to come.